Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name's David and this is my channel. Today we're going to talk about how the world is a mirror. We have one main law. Now we've all heard of the law of attraction, but there's another really important law, which is called the all is one and the one is all. Now that law says that we're all connected. So it's the law of connection, the law of unity. Uh, it's really hard for us to see that we are all one being, one mind underneath one unified source of energy, unless we can get past the mirrors in our life. The mirrors keep us stuck. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that as you look out into the world, it's coming back to you all the time and giving you some kind of meaning. Now, the world doesn't have the ability to give you meaning because it's neutral. We've talked about this in the past. However, if it's giving you meaning, it's giving you what you put in. So at the beginning, it's hard for us to see that. So we have to take it by faith. We have to recognize that the world is either shining back some kind of love to us or some kind of fear to us. Fear can be construed as pain. It can be construed as something uncomfortable, discomfort, discord. And love can be construed as something exciting, happy, joyful, fun. Does that make sense? So things are either reflecting back these two things, either things or people. Situations, circumstances are always going to reflect back these two, we would call them two worlds, because they have the ability to become bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, as they reflect back to you and you recognize this is something I don't like, this is some kind of discord, whether it's a pain in your body or a pain from someone else. Something is causing some kind of discord, some kind of trigger, some kind of feeling of discomfort, then you can simply say, that cannot be coming from them or that. It's got to be coming from me. I have to interpret it first before I can receive it. I have to send into it that of love or fear in order to receive it back. You can recognize in that moment, I have sent fear. In other words, I am absolutely interpreting this particular person or thing based on something that I'm afraid of, or some kind of fear or anger or frustration. Now, we do this so automatically, we don't even know we're doing it sometimes. But the more you recognize that you are the creator of your life, therefore you must be giving first. Does that make sense? I mean, we all want to be the creators of our life, but in order to be the creator, you have to recognize you are already creating. So when that comes back to you in a negative way, say to yourself, why am I creating this in a negative way? Why not in a positive way? And immediately, one of the things that I use, that I recommend, is to say, what is it about this or this person that I see of myself? If it's someone who's aggravating, say to yourself, I wouldn't be able to see them as aggravating if I wasn't aggravating myself at some points in my life. I'm looking at my own ability to be aggravating. Does that make sense? And then as you forgive yourself from being aggravated through forgiveness, because this is all about forgiveness, recognizing and letting go of these reflections in others, then you can let go and recognize they're being aggravating. But now you're not a victim of that aggravation. You've been there before. You know what it feels like. Trust me, you're going to feel that release of energy. You're no longer going to see them as aggravating. You're going to be able to receive them and allow them to be as they want to be. Because the reality is that the key is to allow. It's to accept and allow all things to be as they are. The reason we can't is because they're reflecting back parts of us that we don't want to look at. Okay. Another example is, let's say if you have a shoulder issue. A lot of us have problems in our body. The shoulder really hurts. As I look at it and say, what are you reflecting back of me? Then I can say, well, what does it feel like? Well, it feels painful. It feels hurting. It feels sore. It feels like it can't move. And I stop and say, where am I in my life? Am I feeling painful, sore? Maybe I'm not moving. Maybe I'm feeling stuck in my life. Does it make sense? Maybe I'm being, something in my life is not working out for me. So I feel a little stuck. And then you can see how the shoulder is reflecting back that part of you that feels stuck. Otherwise, you would simply see the healing. You would know it's getting better. You would see it flowing. You would see it moving. Does that make sense? If there's a part of us that wants to stop something from flowing by looking at it and interpreting it in such a way where it brings back fear to us, you can be sure that part is still in you. okay? And that part of you needs to be healed just by recognizing it's not the shoulder, by not blaming the shoulder, not projecting out into the shoulder, and recognize it's reflecting back something about you will be enough to release the energy, and you will be able to see it almost immediately. And before long, the shoulder will feel better. Because once you let go of the projection, then you give it room to heal of its own accord. Does that make sense? It will heal of its own accord. So I know this is different than what we have been told our whole life, that there's outside problems, but don't take my word for it. Try it. What in this am I seeing of myself? You see. So let's say if we go into something like a person's personality, if somebody is aggravating or annoying or even angry, someone's really angry, that's a good one, and they come at you and lash out at you, and you stop and you say, I mean, our natural reaction would be like, whoa, I don't want to be with you. Oh, I don't like this anger. But that would be projection. In other words, they have something you don't. The more you recognize that you can even allow someone who's angry and not lose your peace. We have the ability to allow anything and everything and not lose any peace, as long as we can let go of the reflections. Then as you look at them, you can say, what are you mirroring back to me about myself? Anger. I know what it's like to be angry. And I know what it's like to upset somebody because I'm angry. Yes, I know this energy really well. I know this vibration well. I forgive this in myself. I recognize that you are indeed reflecting back my own anger that I still hold on to. And I forgive you for doing it. Do you see? And now, once again, you will give them the opportunity to let go of that anger, because unless we get angry back and give them a reflection back, they have nowhere to send it. Remember, projection is simply looking at something in somebody else that's coming from you and then continue to give and throw it away back at them and blame them. That's what projection is, and that's what gets us stuck in these. I mean, if there's anything that gets us stuck for millennia coming back on this planet and being upset and frustrated and angry, this is it. Projection. It is hell in itself, because it's not real. It's saying, I don't like this about me, so therefore I'm going to put it on someone else, and I'm not going to recognize it myself. Ego does this really well. The more you recognize, that's my anger I'm seeing, that's my frustration I'm seeing. You see, because I have to interpret them in such a way to even see anger or frustration. Does that make sense? What you put in is what you get out. Second law of the universe. What you put in is what you get out. We are all connected. Therefore, everything is a reflection of me. The all is one and the one is all. And the more we use these two in order to recognize our mirrors over and over and over again, and recognize that I wouldn't be able to see anger in that person if I didn't have anger in myself. I would see only innocence. I would recognize that they are already healing, that anger is a release. It is a release. So even if they're being angry, they're releasing everything that's coming out, and you wouldn't be able to lose your peace. Makes sense? So what is it in them that is reflecting back me? That's the process. And it's so wonderful. And then on the other side of this, you can always recognize, well, one, every particle of the universe has that which makes you something you want, something that you like, something you enjoy. Once again, that part of love, joy, happiness, fun, every particle of the universe has this. And every particle holds that which is missing, that seems to not be one with source, that seems to be something we don't like, not happy with. The more I started understanding that every single thing, every single inanimate object and person, no matter who or what, holds these two, and whichever one I decide is the one that I'm going to get back, that's when I realized everything was innocent. Everybody asked me, Dave, how's the world innocent? Because you are interpreting it based on these two worlds. And if you interpret anything based on lack and loss and death and not liking and discord, then you're going to attract more and more and more in your vibration. And before long, that world's going to become very, very active in your life. Anyone ever experienced that? Everything seems to be coming at you. But in that same part where you saw lack, you could see something you like. You can find a positive in it. You can find something flowing in it. You see, and then now as you look at that, you will start attracting that in your life. And then now that will start flowing and becoming more. We have this opportunity in everything in life. We can see in every single particle something we enjoy, something we like, something we love, or something we don't enjoy, something that's missing, and something that is that of fear or something of discord. And it will give birth to more and more and more on one side, or more and more and more on the other side. And I assure you, it has nothing to do with anybody or anything. Everything is innocent. We are the interpreters of it. If you are seeing something in someone that you do not like, it is still in yourself. If you heal that part of you that has it, you will not see it. You will see their energy flowing. You will know that any negative emotion is simply a release. It releases of its own accord, and therefore you allow it to release, and it won't bother you. It will not disturb your peace. Once again, don't take my word for it. Go search on your own. Because talk is one thing, but experience is everything. You have to experience it. And the more you play with your mirrors this way, what is it? If it's something you don't like, what is it about this that's reflecting back a part of me? Can I heal that part? Can I let go of that part and watch this person or this thing all of a sudden not bother me? I've done this a lot of my life. This is forgiveness. This is healing. And it's the only healing there is, which is forgiveness. That which never happened is healing. It's the understanding that we are one and we will never be separate. Therefore, there's only love, and only love is real. And regardless of what we have experienced, we have to learn to forgive it. And we have to recognize that we indeed are holding the same attributes of what it is we're experiencing, because it must be coming from us. Now, on the other side of this, you have, what is it in this that I enjoy about myself? As you look at nature, you see a flowing river. You say, I am flowing. Now you start understanding, oh, there's another aspect. There's a beauty of me and a flowing in me that's being reflected back in perhaps in this water or in this river, or maybe in a tree, or maybe in a little child's laugh. Wow, what is it? That's that silly inner child that wants to love and have fun and enjoy, and it's being reflected back in the laugh of this child. The more you understand that the world is indeed a part of you, it is you, it's reflecting back everything about you, then the projection will let go, and you will find a more of an inner connection between you and the people in your life and the things in your life. If you look at your money and it's not flowing, what part of me is not flowing? Not my money, but what part of me is not flowing? You see, perhaps you feel stuck in your life and your money is reflecting back that stuckness. Or perhaps there's a belief of lack inside you. I feel lackful. I feel like I'm missing things. Therefore, your money is going to reflect back that lackfulness, perhaps. You see, and this is where you go on that journey of yourself. You go inside. So instead of blaming outside, instead of trying to change outside, instead of projecting outside onto others, we kind of go and we seclude ourselves inside, and we look inside at our mirrors. We thank our mirrors. We go inside and say, what is it that particular thing or person is reflecting back to me about me? Not about them, me. What's coming from me, good or bad? What's coming from me? And how can I benefit from this? And if you get lost, you could be sure that whatever you're feeling from them is what is inside you. It's going to match perfectly because it is a mirror. And of course, feel free to ask your inner being, ask your source energy, because you could be sure, whatever you project out that you don't notice is coming from you, it closes you off from your higher self. It closes you off from the completion of who you are. So from my experience, what has happened is that the more I forgive others and the more I forgive my mirrors and I let go of them, even with just some of the parts of the body, they just disappear as I let go of the reflection, recognize it's indeed coming from me and not coming from outside of me, then more peace starts coming in. And now you don't have to meditate so much. You're just at peace anyway, because everywhere you go, you start understanding it's a reflection of you, and you start saying, what are you reflecting back? Beauty, love, joy, fun, excitement, you see, and then you start attracting that vibration, and it comes in more and more and more. But at first, we have to clean up these mirrors by recognizing that what we see in others, especially other people, is indeed coming from us and not from them. If it's triggering you, if it's giving you any kind of negative emotion, stop for a second. I implore you to stop and say, what is it about this person that's reflecting back to me, myself, that I'm still holding on to? There could be certain attributes that you don't know are still in there, that you maybe have suppressed, or don't enjoy. So therefore you try to not recognize them, but yet they're still in there, and now they're being reflected back by the people around you. Those people are innocent. They are neutral. And the more we recognize and take whatever it is that we're putting on them and interpret them in a new way, I assure you, you could take anything in this world and interpret it in another way. Watch it flow, watch it move, watch it grow, watch it be lovely, watch it be innocent, and so forth and so on. We have the ability to do that as long as we get a hold of these mirrors. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're able to get some good information from it. Of course, always thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to express this back to myself so I can receive clarity from these videos as well. And as always, it's up to you what you receive. If you like this video, hit the like button. Otherwise, also subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to leave a comment. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation.